Hi everyone. So again, welcome to our Monday live chat. And today we have a special guest, and that is Amber Jewellery. So we will welcome her in a moment. I just want to let you know that if you have any questions, you can use the question mark below, bottom right, and we'll answer your questions later on. So I will just let
Hello, I'm back.
Hi, Magda. Okay, so yes, welcome. And because you're here, I started a new live, so I will just introduce
Okay.
what we're gonna talk about. So we call the amber resin for beauty, health, and soul, and also I think we'll see why. And we're gonna talk about what is amber and why so special. We're gonna see and have a look at Magda's journey and into actually committed to this beautiful business that she has, and also the healing properties that amber has and if it really works. So I think we're also curious about maybe other people's experiences or what they found out about wearing amber, like how they feel with that. And I will share something about my story with teething with babies, and if the amber feel like it really works for that. So as I was saying, if you have any questions, we'll leave them for the end, and you can just put them in the question mark below. So we'll shall I put the comments off? Yeah, you don't do anything.
Give it a try and we'll
Okay.
see.
I'll just put them off. You just don't do anything.
I don't think that really changed anything. I think it's just
Yes.
a glitch.
Yeah, that's all. Okay. Yes, so it's lovely to have you here.
Yeah, it's
and
nice to be here. Yeah, again, a little bit stressful, but yeah, I'm just trying to breathe and relax.
Yes. And it's yeah, it's, you know, our client, I think our public views, they, you know, I think they're looking forward to this because it's something that I haven't seen it so much out there, you know. And I think amber is, yes, people say, you know, it's beautiful, but we're going to go more deeper, I think, into it. So
I think it's a nice collaboration because I have a lot of experience with amber. You have like a lot of experience with yoga, meditation, and this part of well-being. So I think it really works together.
Yes, definitely. Okay, so if we start, we can start about talking about what is amber, basically, and why it's so special. Because I think, first of all, maybe some people think it's a gemstone, or it looks like a gemstone, but actually it's you will confirm, is a fossilized tree resin, basically. So do you want to just tell us a little bit about it?
Amber is a fossilized tree resin. It comes from the sap of ancient pine trees. And it's a common misconception about amber that it's a gemstone. So quite often people ask me, oh, it's not a real stone because it's so light, it's not heavy. And I say yes, because it's a fossilized tree resin, it's not a gemstone. So it has a lot of air bubbles and a lot of inclusions. That's why it's not heavy. And like I have quite often people approaching me like on the market and asking, is it a real amber because it's so light? And also like people online receiving earrings and asking, oh, it's not a real amber, it's plastic because it's so light. And then I always have to explain why is that it's fossilized tree resin. And it's like 40 million years old. So it's Baltic amber, which is the oldest in the world. There are also other types of ambers like Mexican, Dominican, Colombian amber, but they are not as old, as hard as Baltic amber. So yes, amber is not a gemstone, it's a common misconception about amber.
Yeah. It's interesting. And also it has different, I wouldn't say texture, but when you see it, like the raw one is much different from the polished one.
Yes.
So that why maybe some people may think, oh, that's plastic, but it's actually not. Yes.
I have like a lot of raw pieces on my stall. Like this is how amber looks when it's raw. So like the typical amber we know is like the one that you currently wear. So it's like orange, shiny, polished, but the raw amber has this cortex on the top, which is like a bark, and you have to remove that bark to actually get deeper into the stone to find all these shades of amber. So amber comes in all different shapes and colors. It's like from white to black. Everything depends where amber was formed. So if it was formed like close to the calcium source, then it's white, like this one. Beautiful. So you can see that it's almost white. You can have like a blue amber, which is really rare. So I've got a bracelet here with all like shades of amber, and you can see that there's like a bluish amber as well. So yeah, so I really like amber because there is a lot of history behind. It's like almost 40 million years of history behind every single stone, and it's like a history trapped in every single piece of amber, which I think is really beautiful, and it makes it really special.
Amazing. So are you from Poland,
yes,
right?
Yes, I'm Polish. So like amber was part of my life like forever. So my parents started like amber atelier in 1996. So I was 5 years old. And since I was 5 years old, like amber was always like around me, and I didn't really know, the meaning of that, because amber was everywhere. Because like, when you go to the Baltic coast, you have amber in every single place. So yeah, so I've been always surrounded by amber.
So have you seen it? Have you seen it like for real, like on the beaches or on
the
sea?
Like, amber at the beach is like completely another topic, because usually people go to the beach like in the summertime when it's a nice weather, and it's not the time to find amber at the beach. You have to go there like in autumn when it's really stormy wind, because that's when amber is, you can find amber at the beach, and that's why it's very difficult to find that. And it happens to find like really small pieces, like I would say this size at the beach, in the summertime. But it's just like a lucky dip, And obviously, if you want to find like a bigger pieces, you have to, you have to make a little bit bigger thing to go there, like in the really cold months, windy. So yeah.
So is the storm because it actually brings it up from the ground, from the bottom of the sea? Is that why it brings it up and then it comes to shore?
Well, like, that's another thing. Like Baltic amber doesn't necessarily comes from the sea. Okay. So it comes from the entire Baltic coast, and it's been moved by the glacier to the sea. And when the temperature of the sea is low, like 4 degrees, then like the density of the sea is different, and that's why you can see amber like on the top of the water. That's why you have to go there, in the cold months to find it, because that's when it happens.
Yeah. Wow, interesting, beautiful. So you're talking about your journey.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a road.
Yeah, you said your family was already involved into the amber, but not you.
No. I was always like next to that. Like I remember like putting small pieces of amber into like strings is seriously one of my first memory from my childhood, because amber was like everywhere and always with me. So so like my parents had amber atelier since 1996, so amber was always next to me. But it's like a family business. You are there, but you are not really there, because you're like a teenager. You have your own life, own things to do. And then when I chose to go to the university, I chose like something completely different. I studied biotechnology and pharmacology, which has really not much to do with amber. So yeah, after about like 8 years of working in my profession in my microbiology, I decided like to actually, it's not like that, because we started selling amber jewellery on eBay in 2015, but it was always our side hustle. We didn't really put much time and effort into that. It was always like on the side. And the circumstances have changed in when COVID hit. Was it 2020 or
1920, yeah.
It was so long, such a long time ago that I can't really say. When like, because like my mother's business was based on like wholesale, so she had a lot of wholesale customers, and when COVID hit, she, you know, all the malls, all the like art galleries have closed because of COVID, and she didn't have like really places to sell. So, you know, we actually had like two options, like to close the family business or to move it online. So that's when we, with my husband, when we decided like to put more work, more effort into selling online, so we actually can buy jewelry from my mother, so she can go through these difficult times.
Yeah.
And this is when it really picked up, and this is how it started. So yeah.
Great. So you now full-time into this?
Yeah, and now I'm full-time. So like I was at 8 years in microbiology, and like last year I decided to quit my job because like I worked 8 hours per day in my full-time job, and like every single evening I spent on like taking photo shoots and making product descriptions, and you know, all this SEO, search engine optimization, you know, to bring more customers to my Etsy. So it was too much. Like I had to decide that if I want to do Amber, I have to commit full-time to this. Yeah.
And just to say, looks so beautiful. I've been, you know, for people that don't know, I've been to her stall in Cambridge Market, and I've seen online like everything, especially Instagram, Etsy, and the pictures are outstanding. They're so beautiful. They actually bring out, I think, the beauty of the amber itself, so it feels like you just want to have all of it because it's so beautiful, basically. Yes, I was saying to Magda, sometimes maybe I can't buy because I'd buy every single thing because it's really beautiful. And I think you're doing really well, and especially I saw that you wrote small business owner, and I was like, no, you're not small. You're not small at all. Like you are super like unique and amazing, I think. And I think, you know, I would congratulate you for actually doing this
I think
full
it's
time.
like combining two passions, because my husband used to be a wedding photographer, so he had these photography skills and like you know, Photoshop, and you know how to work with these programs that I have no idea about. And of course I had like a knowledge about Amber, so we just decided to combine these two things. And
it works
photography
beautiful.
is really important, especially when you sell online. It's like a really important thing because you only buy from the pictures. You can't touch it, you can't feel it. You can only see it on the pictures. So that's why it's quite important to make it right.
Yes, definitely. And they match, because I've seen them online and I've seen them for real on your stall, and they are like same basically. Yes. So shall we talk a little bit about maybe the healing properties of amber?
Yeah, so amber is believed to have healing properties, and like amber is not a painkiller itself, so the healing properties of amber comes from the succinic acid that amber contains. So in general, amber contains like 3 to 8% of succinic acid, and the major amount of this acid is in the amber cortex, so it's that top layer of amber. So it's quite important. If you want to wear like the amber for its healing properties, you have to wear like raw unpolished beads, not like really shiny nice beads. So amber is believed to have a lot of healing properties, so it's believed to be like a painkiller and has inflammatory properties, and also it's known for using for like a teething, baby teething. So it's like a big topic which are going to talk about later. And also, it's very good like for thyroid and for thyroid glands. So it is believed that like if you have problems with your thyroid, you should wear amber like close to your neck, because it assists with balancing your overactive or underactive thyroid.
Yeah.
And it's amber has been always like researched, and it's been always part of like contemporary medicine. So it's, not everybody believes in that, but it's been there for centuries. So, you know, back to really like ancient times when like alchemists and doctors, they even use like amber powder to heal the wounds. So yeah, it has quite a big history of being used for healing properties.
Yeah. And if we think about it, there is a resin from the tree that the tree releases when, for example, there is a cut in the tree or there are insects going in. So it releases this, and that by time it dries and it hardens. So then this insects, for example, wouldn't enter and cause inflammation and problems. So even if we go back to, you know, the actual thing, what it does, we can actually understand that there is a healing properties in itself, basically.
Yeah, it's actually quite interesting point. I haven't thought about that this way, but it makes sense, because like if something happens to the tree, it releases that sap, so it must be done for reasons. So it works. It's quite a good explanation.
Yes.
To be honest.
And I think with every, you know, like we are in a like fast-paced society also for healing, basically. So when we have, you know, pain, we want a fast painkiller, something that acts straight away. And I think with amber, with also, for example, gemstones or other kind of alternative therapies, you need to give it sometimes long time. And it also about your lifestyle as well. So I think if for example, just to say the life of a person is really toxic, and I think it's not going to maybe work if you're just wearing amber and you keep on having a really toxic life. But if with mindfulness you wear it to kind of calm yourself down or heal, and on also overall you're eating healthy, you're thinking healthy, you try to sleep well and conduct a healthy life, then I think it works, because it's a natural way, and natural nature doesn't, you know, act just from night till day. It may, but sometimes it needs, I think, its own time, its own ways.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's like because like the reason the amber works is that acid that amber contains. So when that acid like heats up with your body temperature, then it's being released to your bloodstream. And as you said, it's not always about like the healing properties of amber itself. It's also about like how it makes you feel. It's about like the mental health. If you wear not only amber, but if you wear like a nice jewelry, it always makes you feel better. And like, as I said, it's not only about like the healing properties of the stone, of the gemstone, of the amber. It's about how it makes you feel.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yes. So I think it works. I do think it works. We can ask people if, you know, what they think about it, or
it's been like amber has been researched for hundreds of years, and like it's not only about like the contemporary medicine, because like you can find amber necklaces like in Germany, like Switzerland, like in the pharmacies in those countries.
Yes.
And they're really like advanced countries. So if they have that type of jewelry in their pharmacies, that means that something must be good about it. And you also told me that you bought like the amber necklace in the pharmacy in Italy.
Yes. So this one that I'm wearing, this is like considered for adults because it's longer, and this one is for children. So I both bought them in the pharmacy in Italy. It's actually a pharmacy that also sells more alternative medicines in a way. And I mean, the beauty, I think not just the beauty, but the these ones are also sewn like individually. How would you say? Like individually knotted with silk, so that if it breaks, like if you can see here, one bead is gone, but not the whole one. You know, when you have like a regular necklace and it breaks, then you have all the beads going everywhere. Yeah. But these ones, I'm not sure if everyone is like that, but these ones, they are like mainly, a lot of them are knotted together, so then you're just gonna lose maybe one, not all of them.
Yeah, that's again about amber, that it's not a gemstone, so it's quite soft. So if you break like one piece, it doesn't mean that you have to exchange the entire necklace, because you can still wear it, but with that broken piece. So yeah. I have like hundreds of necklaces with one broken piece.
Yes.
Yeah. Every time I put them like on the stall, I drop something, so I end up with many of them.
Yeah. And also the beauty is that it's, as you said, it's so light.
Yeah.
And you won't feel it at all, that you're wearing it. And you'll just forget about it. So it's going to actually do its work without you controlling it, you know, in a way. And so these ones, I actually bought this because of my children when they were like babies. And at that time I was hearing about the teething with the babies, that the gums, they swell and get sore. And one way to release it is to having the child, the baby, wearing an amber necklace at all times. So through actually night and day. Night is really important because as you know, as people may experience sometimes when they have illnesses or something happening, the night it can be really intense, is when actually people need more support throughout. And I know there's a lot about safety that is being talked to. But what I did, I bought these necklaces, and they have this clasp that basically, if anything gets stuck, I'm not pulling much at all. I'm just like, you know, like just releasing it, and it comes off because of the way of the clasp. So it's not that you have to screw it like it happens to lots of necklaces. And that's how now usually they make the baby's teething necklaces, like with that screw, so you shouldn't wear them at night. But these ones, they have that. And the same is mine, like this one, if I just pull, it's just gonna come off like that. Thank God it didn't break. It worked.
That would be nice advert of the amber necklace.
Yeah. And this I've done lots of times, and it's still fine. So they basically, my kids wore these ones throughout their childhood when they were teething. And I remember especially one time my son had the necklace broken. Basically it just broke somehow. So I didn't know how to repair the clasp with the thread. And I was in Italy at that time, and at that shop they finished them, they didn't have them anymore. So I was looking everywhere. It was not really like online time, so you couldn't find everything online at that time. And he was kind of suffering throughout, like for 5 nights he didn't have it, and he was crying. Yes, he was crying a lot. And then I found, eventually I think he came back to the shop because I ordered it. And since I put it on, since then, like those nights were like peaceful. So, you know, some people would say, do you believe it? Do you not believe it? I've always tried to use alternative, healthy, natural, organic ways to heal myself and my children on a daily basis.
Because it's part of your lifestyle, isn't it? Like you believe in these ways, and you also try to like eat organic food, and you know, you're doing yoga classes. So Definitely, that's why.
Yes, so it's you know, I'm recommending it to people, and as you know, you had a client that actually wanted something like this, but we couldn't find it in the market because of this safety. But I believe that the clasp is really safe.
Yeah.
So of course, also the mother will take its own, you know, responsibilities, but it is safe with this kind of clasp, and also the baby is not feeling it. These one are short. These are, I think, 14 inches or 35 centimeters, something like that. You can make them smaller, but they don't feel it. They don't, so that they're not going to take it off because they don't want it. They just don't feel it. And so I really recommend throughout the night, especially because some people buy bracelets, and for the ankles, I think the effect is not the same because on the neck is just right on the throat. So it may work quicker and better. Of course, alongside, as I said, I would recommend to conduct a healthy lifestyle for the baby as well. So also the baby were breastfeeding for a long time, so that also can help. I mean, we're not going to go into
that's not definitely not a topic for me, because I have like, I don't know anything about babies and breastfeeding. So,
and it actually, but for the mother, the fact that it comes off is great, because I was holding a baby the other day, actually the same baby that you made the necklace for. And the baby is so, you know, baby likes shiny things and beautiful things. So the baby was always holding my necklace. And I was not concerned about it, because if he's going to pull too much, he's not going to break. And I remember when I had babies, I wouldn't wear like long earrings or necklaces because there's this. So they make this kind of breastfeeding necklaces. So the baby, when he's breastfeeding, for example, can hold onto something. But the amber necklace could work same, because also they are attracted to it. And if he has this kind of clasp, the mother could be like, okay, you know, you're not going to ruin my jewellery or something. So I would say, you know, an amber necklaces for mom and babies actually can work.
Yeah, like with amber TV necklaces, there is like a lot of drama behind that. Like, I used to sell like TV necklaces, but I stopped at some point because I had so many silly questions, like from the parents. Like, I saw like the bracelets, and like one time someone asked me if that bracelet is big enough like for a baby to wear it on its neck. And once I received that message, I was like, you know what, I'm just stopping all this like TV business, because, you know, I don't want to feel responsible for anyone doing like this kind of silly things to their kids. So yeah, I stopped selling them. And also, like, I think last year, all the TV products have been removed from Etsy like permanently, because one kid has been suffocated with amber necklace. And as far as I know, it was like a TV necklace from Lithuania, but it didn't have that safety clasp. It has like a normal clasp, so you can see that you can have like the screw clasp that you were talking about before, but you also can have like a normal silver clasp, which is okay like for adults, but not necessarily for the babies. So obviously there was like the massive tragedy about, like, you know, a kid being killed like with a necklace, but, you know, definitely not enough like safety standards have been conducted in this point, that, you know, someone didn't take it off before like baby going to sleep, especially, you know, with this type of clasp. So I actually, for the custom order for your friend, it took me like quite a while to find that clasp. And it took like about like 3 weeks for it to arrive, because it was like it was being sent from Lithuania. So it's not that easy to make a safe TV necklace nowadays.
Yes, because I remember like you can find this kind of pop clasp, but some may be harder. So we were trying to find exactly, you know, these ones that are very easy to open. That's what you want. Because you just don't want this kind, but easy.
Type of silicone, isn't it? Like there is a lot of like plastic clasps on the market, which are like proper hard plastic clasps, and that's the one that we really wanted to avoid. So
yes,
yeah, that's why it took so long.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. And also, yeah, the baby can grow with it, because you can, I've seen children, I work in Steiner school, so I've seen children with these necklaces that they just then keep it throughout, you know, even after they've had their teeth coming out. So it's not something that, you know, you need to wear just for a few months and then put it aside.
Yeah.
The child can still wear it, actually. Yes. And because we were...
Yeah, carry on.
Because we were talking about this acid that you find at the top layer,
yeah.
As you said, if you want actually a better healing release, then the necklace for the teething could be raw instead of being polished, because then when you polish it, the acid goes less. But mine were super polished.
Yeah, but you have to keep in mind that like a baby has really soft skin, so obviously like you don't want to hurt your baby like with raw amber pieces. Like this one is like a raw unpolished amber necklace, but it's for an adult. So you know, as an adult, you know enough that, you know, it's it can like a little bit rough to your skin, but you know, I think for baby it's quite important to make it comfortable for a baby, so the baby doesn't really feel like the, you know, the necklace is being worn. So yeah, so obviously like for like babies, toddlers, I recommend the polished necklaces, because yeah, they're much nicer. They won't hurt the baby's skin.
And I was thinking, so just where people find you, because you have some platforms online, but also offline, like in markets, for example.
So I'm doing, you can find me on Etsy at the moment. It's Amber Charm UK. That's the name of the shop on Etsy, but you can also find me on local markets. So from time to time I'm doing like local markets. So I'm doing like the West Suffolk markets, so they're usually like in Haverhill, and they're makers markets, so they're markets for the makers, so they're not like the usual markets with like fruits and veggies. And they're like every month, so it's every first Saturday and Sunday of the month. So the Saturday is in Haverhill, the Sunday is in Bury St Edmunds. And I also do like every Friday and Sunday on Cambridge Market. So that's where you can meet me in person, and you can actually feel and touch the amber. Not only buy from the picture. But like the Etsy is my main source of income, like selling there. It's been like difficult, especially, you know, the last year, well, where all the like beaded pieces have been removed from Etsy. That was like 50% of my stock. So, but yeah, I'm still trying to get through that, and still trying to make it working for me.
And do you do anything in Poland as well? Can people find you there if people are from there or they come there? Do you, maybe your mother sells there?
Yeah, but my mother is only doing like wholesale again, so she's doing like from time to time like shows and markets, but like very few in the year. But I can get you like a name for her Instagram, so if you want to get something in Poland, you can contact her directly. She has much more amber than I have.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you do, you're on Facebook as well?
Yeah, like I think the fastest way of contacting me is like Instagram, because I'm always on Instagram, so I can see like when the message pops up, I can check it directly.
So I wanted to ask you, what are you wearing today?
So I'm wearing like 3 necklaces. So one is like very short. It's actually not that short, to be honest. I'm just wearing it like that. So I put like the clasp like in this place, because I wanted to make it a little bit shorter. And I'm wearing like the unpolished necklaces. So one of them is like the olive shape. They're quite big. and the other one is like more beaded. So that's what I'm wearing. I'm also wearing like a white amber bracelet and like a malachite bracelet with Baltic amber and amber and
Beautiful.
silver ring.
Beautiful.
So I mix and match all the time. So I constantly change what I wear because I have quite a lot of options.
Do you wear it every day? Do you wear amber every day?
You know, to be honest, I didn't really wear amber like for such a long time, but like because it's so soft and like I don't really, even if I wear like 3 necklaces, I don't really feel that I'm wearing them. Like the only moment that they're not comfortable is like when I go to bed and I forget that I have them on, and at some point I have to take them off. You know, that's the only moment where I have to like where I can feel that I wear them. So yeah, now I wear them all the time, especially, you know, when I do like a lot of markets. It's always nice to have some jewelry on me, because very often you can have like a massive store with jewelry, but people always want to buy what you're wearing.
Yeah.
So quite often you sell the beads that you're wearing because like people like to see how they look on a person, not only like on a display.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I think that's a really good point that I've noticed also in your Etsy and the way you are marketing it, because you're showing how it looks like on like I've been on Etsy a lot, and sometimes, you know, I buy earrings but I think I'm drawn more into wanting to see how it looks like, not even on the fake mannequin or just the one without the head.
Sometimes you can see that fake head or fake ear, and for me it looks like,
but I
just
really want to see like how it is on, and you know, you have these pictures with you wearing this, and it's so beautiful, because
it was like I didn't really want my face, like, you know, to be everywhere, but I didn't really have choice, because I know that people like to see how the jewelry looks on people, like on a real person, not like some fake display, or like, as I said, like a fake ear or a plastic ear or something. But yeah, it took like a lot of courage to put my face
well done
behind the camera. Yeah, especially, you know, when you don't feel like confident about like being photographed and stuff like that, but you have to do that to keep your company running. So,
yes. So do you get your amber just from the Baltic area then?
Yes. So I only sell Baltic amber, and like there is a lot of, like, as I said, Mexican or Dominican amber. They're like massive pieces, and they quite a lot have like insect traps and inclusions, but they're very beautiful. But I don't really want to bring them like to my jewelry collection, because I want to sell Baltic amber, and I don't want to mix that with any other type of amber. Because like once you have something that is not Baltic amber, then like you forever have a sticker that it's not necessarily Baltic amber. So I specialize in Baltic amber, and I really want to stick to Baltic amber only. And also it comes from Poland, so you know, it's the place where I was born, and that's why it's quite special. And I also think the Baltic amber is the nicest one, because like the Dominican or a Mexican amber is much younger, and it's like very clear. It doesn't have like any inclusion trapped or like air bubbles, and I can easily say if it's not a Baltic amber, if I can see like a product or like a bracelet. So I really think that Baltic amber is the nicest one.
Do you think, is there any tips or any way that if you know like how to recognize if amber is real amber, you know, like for example pearls, there is a way to understand them, but I wonder if with amber, you know, with these people that say, oh, it's plastic.
There is quite a lot of ways. Like there is like a hot needle check that you can perform. So you have to heat up the needle, and you can scratch the amber, and you know, like the Baltic amber has quite characteristic smell of pine trees. So when you actually scratch the amber with hot needle, you can smell like it smells like a forest.
The resin.
And the other way is like the salt water check. So the salt water check, you have to make like a solution of water and salt I think I recorded a TikTok about on how to do it, but it has to be quite like specific amount of salt dissolved in water. And then when you mix your amber with that, amber always floats on the top because it's very light. And if it's fake, it will draw.
You think,
Yeah. So yeah, there is quite a lot of ways to check. The easiest way I think is like is just rubbing the amber against your hair. Yeah. You can see like it's your hair is like moving.
Okay, electric.
Yeah, it's like I don't know how it's called, but it's like the
yes,
something to do with electric. Yeah.
Amazing.
So there's quite a lot of ways to check if your amber is real. Yeah, but obviously, like I think the best idea is to buy it like from the known sources, not like there is quite a lot of sellers on Etsy that sell like, especially with inclusions and especially with the insects trapped in amber, they have like really low prices of pieces like 10 quid like for a mosquito trapped in amber, and like it's impossible to offer Baltic amber in this price like with inclusions, so they quite often sell like Colombian amber or Mexican amber, you know, with inclusions, which is much younger and much cheaper, and they sell it as Baltic amber because like nobody really knows how to check it and what it is. They're just happy to have like an insect trapped in amber.
I see.
So you have to be very careful where you source your amber from.
Yeah. And I think I have so many questions, but so how long, I mean, do you make your necklaces and your jewelries?
Yeah, some of my jewelry is being made in Poland by my mother's business, but very often I travel to Poland. Like last week I spent in Poland. It was very intensive few days where I was just making new jewelry, new projects, new designs, and I usually make it, or either I bring it here and sell it, or I just leave them for her so she can have my design and she can work from that to, you know, to make more designs like that and do more jewelry from my designs. Yeah.
So do you have sometimes customers ask you to customize their jewelries, like asking you maybe have, I don't know, I asked maybe like gold instead of silver, or can you make this necklace? Like, do they give you instructions sometimes, like personalized?
Yeah, like people always want things that I don't have on my stall. Like, you know, there are always requests about things that I don't have at the moment. I'm happy to like accept custom orders, but it takes a while because what I have to do, I just have to go to Poland where like my manufacturer is, and I have to do it there. Yeah. Like I can do like simple things here, like putting amber beads. Like I made a necklace for your friend here, because that's easy. You don't need like a very specific equipment, like special sews and like different type of things like to make that. But if it comes like to gold plating, you have to have like the right machine to do that. So these are not things that you can make like on the spot or on the stall. You can't keep it behind your table or under your table.
Yeah. There's something, is there something new that you want to bring in your business? I think maybe you mentioned me too sometime.
Yeah, there is like a massive project in my business. So we've just purchased the laser engraver. So we are going to offer the jewelry that is personalized, but not only personalized to the level of like a name of the silver disc, but we want to do like a collection of jewelry like with fingerprints, or like, you know, when you have the scan, you know, when the woman is pregnant, like a USG scan, you can actually send it to me and I can engrave it like on a piece of silver and you can attach it to amber jewelry. So this is kind of like personalized jewelry. Or you can make like a print of like the baby food and send me a picture, and then I'll put it like on the jewelry. So I think it's like even like a good gift for when you have like a baby shower and you want to like give friends, give gifts to your friends or to your family, or even when you want to inform like your mother that you're pregnant and you want to like surprise her with a nice jewelry with your baby scans. I think it's quite a good idea to do this bit of personalization to the jewelry.
So who are your most like the customers? Are just ladies, or do you find men also wear amber?
Well, I sell quite a lot of jewelry to men, like the amber bracelets and amber necklaces, but I sell them on eBay because like Etsy blocked all the beaded jewelry, amber jewelry, so I can't sell it on Etsy. And I also have like a lot of customers like in person when I'm on my stall. Like yesterday I sold quite a few bracelets on Cambridge Market, like because like men were genuinely interested like in wearing amber bracelets. But what is really interesting, they're usually like people from United States. I don't know if like the culture of amber is like bigger, or like I don't know, like they're more into amber over there, or like England is not that great about knowing about amber.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Interesting. Yeah, it might be.
Like,
but slowly.
Yeah, we are getting there. Like I'm trying like not only to sell but also like educate people about amber. So like, every time someone comes to my stall, I try to inform them what it is, you know, why it has different colors, because they only like associate amber with the color you wear, so like a proper amber orange color.
Yeah.
So people are usually quite surprised when they see amber in different colors.
Do you
yeah.
have with you? Do you have with you all the range of colors that, if we could see them, like maybe white, goldish, yellowish, then brown to green?
Yeah, so you can see like I got like a bracelet, and it's like a breakdown through all the colors. So you can see that there's like a black, like a white color with black pieces. This one is like a greenish with blue amber. Again, white. This one is kind of like green and white. This one is like a proper, I call it milk and honey color.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and again, white with some blue shades, and also like almost black. So the black color is like when amber was formed close to the soil, so that soil changed the color of amber. And obviously you are wearing like the typical orange color of amber.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and
which is really nice because it catches the light beautifully.
And it's best wearing on your skin. I bet like gemstones, you know, sometimes when they are like clasped in, is better if they have like a cut, like for example this ring. So it's not big, but it has, this is like a green and brown amber, and it has a cut. So then at least there's some effect to the skin, like that it goes, you know, with the warmth, I guess.
But it's also like a nice jewelry.
Yeah, of course.
So you don't have to only wear it like for the healing properties of amber, but like it's really special and it's really nice. So why not to wear it?
Yes. In fact, we said a reason for beauty, health, and soul. So it's like everything. Yes.
Yeah.
So thank you, Magda. If there's anything you think about that you want to add, maybe, or
I don't know. Is there anything else you want to ask? Like,
I have so many questions because I like,
I can talk about amber like for ages, and there is so many like you know, when you have like a massive topic and you can go like into like a smaller topics, and from this smaller topic you again have like a lot of even smaller topics. So we can talk about amber like all the time.
Yeah. So I guess if someone would like to try amber, what would you suggest them in terms of color or jewelry? Or
I think like, you know, if you start your journey with amber, you should go like with a classic orange color, because like you have to check if you like it. And I think once you're familiar with that, you can go into like more like into different colors, like less popular colors.
Yeah. So the blue one is the most rare. I've actually I've never seen it. I just saw it now with you.
Yeah. Like the blue Baltic amber is very rare, because like the blue amber that looks like very blue is Dominican amber, which is, I think, is not rare at all. But like the blue Baltic amber is like very rare. Like, you know, when you have like a bark on the top of the stone, you have to remove that bark very carefully to get that color. And so you have to do that like gently enough to remove that bark, but not hard. So, because sometimes you can remove the bark with the color. So actually you can remove that piece of amber that has that color. And the only one person who can do that, who I know, is my mother, because he can see, like, you know, from the color of the cortex, from the color of the bark, if there is a chance there is like a bluish amber underneath. And she doesn't let anyone to do that. She's the only one person who can do that, actually, to remove that cortex, to remove that bark, to reveal that blue color. Yeah. She doesn't want to teach anyone, so I think it's her like special thing.
I guess, yes. Yes, definitely. Okay, so if you want, we could close it here, unless you have
sure,
something more.
Hopefully we'll get like more topics to talk about in the future.
Yes, and I will leave this recorded so people can watch it, and then I will write down some of your informations, and also where people can contact you, just to remind them, but also just to remind, they can find you in Cambridge at the market Friday and Sunday. And then, did you say Saffron Walden?
Not Saffron Walden, Bury St Edmunds and Haverhill.
Okay.
Yeah, these are two places every month, and like and Cambridge is like every Friday and Sunday.
Okay. And also, online, on Instagram.
I'm always like, it's open 24/7.
Okay. Thank you so much, Magda, for your time.
Thank you for being a great host, and thank you for having me on your live.
You're so welcome.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Take care.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.